Hello, my name is Jody and I'm here today to share with you something that I love talking to people about because you can use some really great analogies for people to understand something as difficult, I suppose, as quantum physics. And to start with, I'd like to say thank you to Chrissy Andronicus and the Success and You group who actually provided this DVD on one of my Succeed magazines that I subscribe to. So Succeed magazine is personal development for progressive people. We've got Bob Proctor on the front there, Chris Howard, for us in Australia that's Natalie Bassingwaite. And yeah, really what she talked about, I just want to share with you today. Do you agree that we are all energy? Because if you don't, you might just want to turn the video off and go somewhere else now. But I want to share with you my interpretation using Chrissy's analogies. So if we are all energy, then energy you can actually measure by a wave of frequency. So she talks about, with quantum physics, the particle in a box theory. So just to show you what that is, I'll just draw rather than using my hands. So we have a box, and in that box is a frequency wave. It is basically energy. It's how our energy is. So if our box is small, it's kind of representing a level of consciousness. And perhaps when we keep ourselves boxed in, to use that phrase, we're really not being ourselves. We're not being true to ourselves, not being true to who we really are. And our frequency is running quite fast, which means we kind of get a bit like, maybe that's why we get road rage or different things like that, because something just has to release. We have to break out. A mentor of mine talked about the perturbation, which I suppose you'd say the atom bomb, when you've got that much energy contained into a small area. Eventually that energy just has to get out. So perturbation is the start of the crack. God, something has to happen so I can get rid of this. Another analogy is probably my husband, who, if he doesn't do his exercise for more than a week or two, he pertains to a female with PMT, or PMS as it's called in North America. So he needs to go for that jog to release that energy. So another way of keeping a track on our frequency wave is to keep growing our box. So if our box becomes bigger, we have the same amount of energy, but it gets to slow down. So the frequency wave becomes a bit bigger, which is the equivalent of when we feel a bit more calm, a bit more centered. And would you believe that when you're feeling good like that, as Esther Hicks says, then that's what you attract. So I've been the small box, and it came, I suppose, from stress and all sorts of different things with working life, etc. And particularly over the last 12 months, I've really been working on personal development, reading a lot, listening a lot, hanging out with some really cool people who just raise the vibration, raise my vibration. And learning stuff like this is just sort of what feels so good. It just really resonates with me. So now I know that occasionally I'll get my box small, but I can at least identify it now and say, well, what can I do to change this? What can I do to slow my frequency wave down and start to really listen to and see and feel what's around me? Think of the old-fashioned radio, the tuning in as such. You've heard that saying, tune into the frequency. When you're actually looking for a radio station on that transistor, you're tuning your little knob, and if you go too quick, you'll skip over what's actually there, and you might hear a blip or something. So then you have to go backwards slowly and really spend some time tuning in to pick up that frequency. Well, if you can get your box bigger and continually grow yourself, make your box as big as possible, keep that frequency wave going nice and slow, then you're hearing and you're seeing and you're feeling more of what's around you. So when opportunities come across your path, you can be grateful for it there and then, not just walk straight over it, as Winston Churchill says. You can actually see and feel and know that it feels good or it feels right. And that's just something that's recently happened to me. I do talk a lot about from something good comes something bad. That's something else we'll talk about at another time. But recently I have tuned into a frequency, and this is why I'm doing this video now. I'm learning from a Web 2.0 master, Jonathan Budd. Thank you, Jonathan. Great talking to you the other day. And I'm just opening my mind to a whole new world of attraction marketing. I want to market myself. I believe I've got a message to share, and I'm going to do it. And I hope you'll enjoy this video and that you can look forward to getting some more, maybe subscribe. Yeah, see what else comes. I've got a wealth of knowledge from the last couple of years, and I'm going to share it with you. So stay tuned.